Saeed Masani?
Yeah, that's me. You must be Commander Shepard. I hear we have a galaxy to save.
Oh, well, we're just really happy with the way it turned out, and I guess mostly, you know, a lot of people loved the original game, and we're just really happy that they came back and played the second one. And a lot of new players are playing Mass Effect 2 and discovering that you know, it's a great entry point into the fiction. We actually try to think about ways that we can, you know, we call them water cooler moments, where it's something that we can give to players who take one path that are so interesting they have to share that experience with somebody else who's played the game. But given that they'll have different choices that they will have made, they won't have experienced any of that, and instead they have their own story about what was special about what they did. We try and create those different paths that are each interesting enough that you want to tell your friends about it, and then you realize that they've had a different experience. The fact that you have so much choice, and it's a non-linear kind of aspect of Mass Effect 2, is the way that you assemble your team. It's one of the reasons why we have as many squad members as we do. You get 10 with the main game, and then you have a free one through Cerberus Network, Zaid, and then now we have a downloadable character. So it's just a lot of fun with people choosing different characters and making your own choice, because there's different kinds of players as well. So you'll find that each of these different personalities will appeal differently to different kinds of people. Well, Kasumi is a master thief, and she's a really interesting character in the sense that she has special abilities like Shadow Strike, which is is very much a thief-like ability, where she can cloak. She's constantly cloaking and uncloaking during battle, so you're not sure exactly where she is. You can kind of command her to a certain position, but you can also get her to do her Shadow Strike ability, which is where she can uncloak next to an enemy, even if it's really far away, and she'll hit them with a real powerful blast from her Omni tool. And for many enemies, it's a one-shot kill, but it leaves her right up next to the enemies. So it's a pretty exciting way to play. And I think a lot of people will have a very different experience playing through the game with Kasumi. Yeah, that's one thing that we wanted to do very differently with Mass Effect 2 is create the game in a certain way that allows you to integrate downloadable content and new stories at any time. So you can play an adventure like Kasumi if you're in the middle of a playthrough for Mass Effect 2, or even if you have finished the game and you still have your ship and you're roaming around the galaxy, you download this and you're instantly back out into a new mission. I think you know, it'd be difficult to argue that there's a definitive conclusion to Mass Effect 2, or certainly an epic climax. So it definitely builds to something and gives you the satisfaction of finishing the story in Mass Effect 2. But of course, you do know that there's more going on, and I think that's really the sweet spot. You want to know that there's more that's going to happen, but you also want to feel satisfied that you're finished. And that was a goal for us with Mass Effect 1 and 2, and I think we did that pretty well.
So in terms of the overall fiction of the Mass Effect universe, you got the comic book, and there's a novel coming out this summer. Can you tell us anything what the novel will be about?
We haven't really announced what the novel is going to be about, but it's going to be something that does help bridge the story of Mass Effect 2 into Mass Effect 3, and like what we've done in the previous novels, there's kind of a separate thread running through those novels, so some of those characters will come back again. But again, we like to weave in the actual things that are happening in the core games as well, and let you see a different side of those things.
I really enjoyed how you got a peek into Omega and Cerberus and the collectors. Just a brief peek in the latest novel.
Yeah, the novels and the comic book as well are a way for us to tell other stories, but that are not completely separate. They actually help build out your understanding of the main story. So they're complementary, but I think they help you kind of get different flavors of what the whole Mass Effect story is about.
Are you looking into other medias or ways to expand the universe?
I mean, we've got novels out, there's a comic series, and there's a lot of interest in a movie. So with us, the real goal is like we love this fiction, and we want to tell a lot of the remaining story that there is there, and that's how we've built this universe, is so that there's a lot of story to be told. But we always want to make sure that however we do it, we're doing it in a way that's meaningful. There's a reason for it, and that it's always with a really high quality.
Because I have a friend of mine who's like, well, they're making the Old Republic at BioWare, but I'd really love a Mass Effect MMO.
Well, that's something that's certainly interesting. The idea of different kinds of games in the Mass Effect universe, whether it's an MMO or other genres. Again, it's an interest in doing whatever it is being really high quality, but certainly that's part of why we've designed this universe the way it is so that you can experience it in different ways.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.